Recorded. But so yeah, you're saying it's like state and city
So
funded.
city and state, the two shelters with Mullen and 112 Southampton Street Shelter were run by the Boston Public Health Commission, Homeless Services Bureau. So technically, yes, I work for the city of Boston. I'm the director of emergency shelter services for the city.
So are you like responsible for two shelters?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Where is the other location?
So it's right on the corner of Mass Ave and Mulnea Cass, and that's
Okay.
the female-only shelter.
Oh, okay.
So 220 beds.
Well, I guess to start off, I guess I'll just ask you again about the beds and like housing and like the whole run through.
Sure. So at the men's end, this shelter 112 Southampton, we have 368 physical beds on the first floor. We just opened 100 more on the second floor. We do 20 additional mats on the floor for overflow, and then we do 25 additional people in the dining room for overflow.
Okay. And could you explain again like the breakfast and like lunch options and stuff?
So we do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When guests wake up in the morning, we clear all the dorms so that we can clean, send everybody to the dining room. They can watch TV, get breakfast, get lunch in the afternoon. They can come in and out. If they have appointments, they can leave. They get searched.
They have the lockers too, you're saying?
A lot of them have lockers, not everybody.
Yeah.
It's a wet shelter, so people come in under the influence of drugs and alcohol, they can. We do ask that they do not bring any contraband on the property.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I saw the syringe. Was that like a just like donate, like no question, just turn it in, like get rid of it?
Yeah. So if somebody's insulin diabetic, they can definitely have needles on them.
Yeah.
But the concern that we have is people
Like
doing
heroin.
drugs on the property.
Yeah.
We have had a number of fatal overdoses, unfortunately, in the shelters. So we do ask that people just turn them in.
Yeah.
If they're coming through the search process, so with the x-ray machine, the walkthrough, if we find contraband, if we find needles, weapons, we have disposal sites for all of that, and they just would...
If that were to happen,
Yeah.
would they like get like legally in trouble, or would you just like take it away and try and help them?
No, we would just confiscate kind of what we found.
Yeah, just take it away.
If it was a gun or something like that,
Yeah.
absolutely. But if it was like enough drugs that look like distribution, we'd probably go to the authorities. But for the most
But
part,
just like a little bag of
it's-
something like.
they get rid of it.
That's
yeah.
good, because I was gonna ask you like, do you think it's better to just like help rehabilitate people like that are homeless, or like I know a lot of homeless people, if they're just like trespassing or something in a park, like they can get arrested and get thrown in like jail and stuff
Yeah.
for just like minor charges.
Yeah, I mean, I
Right.
think that, our goal is, we have a list of like restrictions of if people violate them, they can get kind of barred from the shelter for a period of time.
Okay.
If somebody is caught with drugs on them in the building after
Is that
search,
like one of the strikes?
it's 30 days out.
Okay, so just automatically.
For the most part.
Yeah.
We've been a lot, with this whole kind of issue of mass Mulnea and kind of the active drug use and all of that. We understand kind of where people are coming from. So let's say we catch somebody shooting heroin in the bathroom. Our goal is not to kick them out. We will offer them treatment.
Yeah.
We will transport them to treatment, and we will not restrict them from coming.
Is there any way like homeless people can get access to like, not even just healthcare in general, but like just like rehabilitation like centers and stuff like that?
Yes, so plenty. We do tons of referrals. The Boston Public Health Commission also has a Bureau of Recovery Services. So there's separate programs that we run that help people get into treatment.
Yeah.
They also do a lot of harm reduction. So they give out clean needles and they give out clean cookers and.
So I guess like, is that one of like the safe places to shoot up or whatever?
There's in the city.
Because I've seen those like in like Vancouver.
Yes, that's not legal yet in Boston, but I know that there's a lot of interest in bringing that here.
Yeah.
Our goal, we educate people. If you're going out to use, bring somebody with you. Here's Narcan. Make sure somebody has it. Do you know how to use it? So that's kind of where we're at this point.
I think that's really awesome because like personally growing up, like literally not yesterday but 2 days ago when I was back home in Portsmouth, like I've personally seen like so many of my friends, like it starts with like painkillers or something, like I don't know what blues are, but I know that's like one of the things, like two of my friends, and like I like he had a little brother, this kid Max, and I was just like in between, like Ian was like a year younger than me and Max was a year older, so I was just there and friends with both of them, but like then Max like really heavily got into like heroin, and one time I came over and like he was like OD'd and like he was like all like blue, and like I don't know what it is, but his mom like had something that she like stabbed into him, and it was like the crazy like
Narcan.
he like came back to
Yeah.
life, and like I don't know, I just always try and like be there for Ian because of that. But like literally the other day, I was driving by and I've never seen it before. Like I saw this like guy ODing like on the street, getting picked up like by paramedics, and like I've noticed past couple of years like with like the opioid crisis and stuff, there's like more and more junkies on the street, but like I've never seen anyone like actively like dying other than like that one time. But it's definitely, I don't think it's gotten better in the past couple of years.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely like
been addressed more, but like
it has, but I think it's
feel like the usage has spread
worse,
a little
bit. And the prescription medication use. And
I learned about that.
Yeah, I mean, one of the fatal overdoses we had when I was talking to the family of this individual, he was, you know, was a star athlete in high school and played varsity sports and did all that and got an injury, got prescribed pain meds and enjoyed the pain meds even after he was healed, and just couldn't get the high that he was getting and started using heroin and just unfortunately
it's
killed him.
Scary because it happens to so many people. And like I know back home like in Maine, like I live like in Kittery, Maine, like and Portsmouth, New Hampshire, so it's like kind of both, but they have like the legalized and like medical marijuana there. But what's scary is it's cheaper for someone to buy like a gram of heroin off the street than it is for a gram of weed, and a gram of weed's only like $10. So like it's just like I really personally just like if I could, I just want to see like the epidemic just like get addressed, or just you know, more activists and stuff. But back to like a more positive subject, I guess. Could you just run me through like your day-to-day, like your personal like responsibilities and just like what you do?
So I do kind of all of it. I mean, I oversee the operations of the shelter. I mean, I have staff that help me do that, fortunately. But it's a lot of meetings. It's a lot of, you know, the mayor put together this task force to address this Milnea Mass Ave area with, you know, the director of EMS, myself, the deputy lieutenant for BPD that's now responsible for this area. So just kind of key people to talk about what it is that we could be doing in this area, and it's been ongoing probably for like 8 months.
That's good.
So it's like a lot of things like that. It's a lot of personnel matters I deal with. A lot of you know, if a guest gets barred for an act of violence, so something they assaulted a staff or something like that, my role is then to when they say they want to come back and they don't want to be barred, is to investigate kind of whether or not it's appropriate for them to come back.
So do you like do like a one-on-one sit down with them?
For the most part, no. I mean, it's because of the concern for violence. A lot of it's over the phone. Sometimes I will do it outside with campus police with me.
But like, do you guys work like together and then like decide that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I do a lot of hands-on stuff. So you know, we do a lot of kind of walk-arounds in this area as far as, you know, we help pick up needles. We try to outreach to people that come in off the street. We Narcan people a lot when we see them.
What is that?
The Narcan is what versus the effects of an overdose. There was a gentleman in the bathroom across the street at McDonald's that overdosed, and they called asking for help, and so we went over, and me and a coworker were able to keep him alive until EMS came.
That's great.
But it's a lot of.
Do you do a lot of just like I saw like when we came in, you just probably have like relationships like built with a lot of these people here, so you just like kind of talk to them like one-on-one like throughout the day.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
How's it going?
Yeah. I mean, I've been with the commission 19 years, so you know, unfortunately, people that when I started as a case manager, unfortunately, there's some people that end up back here, and so so
just trying to like help break the cycle, I guess.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
How did you actually get into this?
I kind of grew up all over. I was like a military brat, and I moved up from Florida, did my last 2 years at UMass Boston, and went to some career fair and said the commission was actually hiring for like somebody to pass out like condoms and Matapan. I'm like, I can do that because I had no idea what I wanted to do. It was like a human services degree, so and so they sent me something back and called me and said, we think you might be more appropriate for something else. And
that's awesome.
So they called me for this case management position, and I did that for like 1.5 years in the shelter, and then I oversaw one of the work programs for about 1.5 years, and then I ended up going to Woods Mullen to be the kind of director just of that shelter for a bit.
Okay.
And then when we had the shelter on the island out in Boston Harbor before it closed, they sent me to kind of be the director there.
Okay.
And then once we ended up back in the city when that shelter closed and Bridge closed, to be the director of kind of both of this. So
okay. So you just kind of like bounced around supervising pretty much.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'll check my questions. I haven't even used any of them. Oh, I read this Boston Globe article from 2013,
yes.
and like when I first started researching, it was pretty surprising because it was explaining like Boston, out of all major U.S. cities, has like the highest number of people like in emergency shelters.
Yes.
And that just really jumped out at me.
Yeah.
Because like it was like more than like Los Angeles, like New York, all these other places. Because it's a smaller city, so
it's a smaller city, but you know what? And the numbers keep increasing. You know, and it's which is pretty disturbing. But you know, as quick as we can get people out and housed and all of that, there's more people coming into our door.
Yeah,
it's
just system, a constant in and out.
Constant, and so you know, about a year ago, the city gave us funding to do a new department, a new case management department. So front door triage, where the goal is that within 60 days we're able to either divert them someplace else, we get them on a bus back to where they came from, or they can go live somewhere else, get them into a program, just to try to really intense 60 days, and we've seen a lot of really good results. But again, the numbers keep climbing. I think the draw of the city of Boston is that we have a ton of amazing services and really great hospitals and that
how do you think, like, maybe since like 2013, like maybe like 5 years ago, or maybe since like when you started like getting involved in like homelessness, like how has, like you said the numbers keep going up, has it gotten worse? Or
I mean, I think it's gotten worse because the numbers are up, and you know, I think, you know, we've seen kind of these different peaks of, you know, again, it's nothing like when I started. It's nothing like, you know, even like 5 years ago. It's just a very different kind of clientele. I mean, a ton of mental health, very serious mental health issues, not being medicated, using drugs to kind of mask it. The issues around violence has been horrific in the shelters.
Like PTSD is probably
definitely. And the opioid epidemic has been, it's
heartbreaking, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, Oh, I've heard from like multiple homeless people like that, like when they come to the shelters, they're usually like at max capacity or close because there's just so many people, I guess. But is that normally the case? Or
so I mean, definitely in the winter. I mean,
I think.
But you know, we work really closely with our partners, so Boston Rescue Mission, Pine Street, the Night Center. We do a lot of transports at night to other shelters if they have more capacity. You know, we do turn people away though. If you know,
if you have to.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to, you know, I only have 10 staff to monitor, you know, 500 people in the building. The ratio is kind of shitty. Yeah. So I think and again, like I mentioned, like the violence and so forth. Like you know, I also need to protect my staff too.
Yeah.
And
is there a lot of like violence, like fights and stuff, outbreak, like on the regular?
I mean, we get fights. We have, you know, staff have been assaulted. I mean, again, I think, you know, we're a city shelter. We pretty much take anyone. You know, we don't require people to take meds if they're supposed to be on meds. We don't, you know, we don't require people to shower. It's just. But
it's like if they want to, like they have access.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's good.
Yeah.
If you had to estimate, like how many people, like throughout your experience, like have been helped, like through how much, like per year do you think, how many people get helped here?
I mean, I think everybody gets help when they come here. But as far as
a lot
like
of people.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like numbers of people we've housed and stuff, like I don't oversee the housing department, but you know, we've, you know, thousands of people we've housed, and so but then other, you know, successes is we get somebody into treatment and then they're able to go reunify with their family, and that's kind of
that's great.
Where their option goes. You know, some end up back in jail, some
just how it goes.
Yes.
What else? These are all really good answers, by the way. Thank you so much.
Sure.
How do you know, like, because you said you've been meeting like with like the mayor and the police
Yeah.
lieutenant and stuff. How like technically do the laws like apply to the homeless, like for good or bad?
So, I mean, I think one of the big issues that we struggle with is the Mass Ave Molnea area, and the BPD bike unit is out here now.
Yeah, I saw them today for the
Yes.
first time.
So Sergeant Messina actually heads that up and is amazing as far as kind of wanting to help people. They don't want to just lock people up.
Yeah.
They want to try to get people to move along and go where they're supposed to go, and they can educate them on the shelter's open 24/7, and
Yeah.
we're definitely looking at ways we can work as far as I think. So downtown has St. Francis House, which is a co-ed day shelter. We don't have a co-ed place right around here that that people can access and kind of come and go that's big enough to kind of do that. So I mean, we're looking at maybe some funding for that. But again, the goal for we want to get the drug dealers off the street. We want to get the people that are preying on the clients that are out there.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, I think us BPD, the state troopers, we're all on the same page to try to help.
You're not trying to like criminalize these people. You're trying to help them.
Yes.
So that's good. I guess with the drug dealer thing, is that like the main problem you see amongst like people that come in that are addicts? Is it like they're just hooked because like there's a lot of drug dealers in the area?
I mean, I walk to the other shelter all the time and get offered tons of stuff.
Oh, really?
So, I mean, I think
this is my first time walking through this area, but like I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like perks. Who wants perks? You want that? And so, I think it's tough if somebody is in this area and they're trying to stay sober.
Yeah.
It's definitely like somebody goes to detox and
relate
they
to
come
that.
back and it's like then they have to walk out in the morning
and you're surrounded.
and you're surrounded by it. And we do have people that come in from other areas that deal, and that's why they're out there, because they know people are gonna buy.
Yep.
So I think just trying to like get a handle on that.
Yeah, that's good. I really don't know what else to ask you. You've told me so much. Like I only need 1,500 words for this project. So yeah, I guess that's like enough. Like one last question. How can just like normal people in the community help like solve like homelessness?
So I'm not sure about solving it,
or not, but like
I think maybe to help support.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of
become active.
Yeah. I mean, so we have a volunteer department within kind of homeless services, and we arrange for like groups to come in to help us serve food or help us do things, run bingo for the guests, or do things that I think it's really helpful to see that. Like when I got the job at the shelter, I had been volunteering like at the rescue mission downtown and stuff like that, but I never saw it like on the scale that it is, and I think it's incredibly eye-opening.
Yeah, that's really good to see the community engagement.
To be here, yeah, absolutely. And I think again, doing some sort of drive or something, like getting new socks for us, and I mean we pay for all this stuff, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And but if a guest, it's raining, so we have guests come in and they're just having clean socks. Is
that's
huge.
One of my like least favorite feelings. It's like wet socks or sandy feet.
Yeah. So like stuff like that, or like having some sort of drive and getting raising like $500 and buying a bunch of like tea passes, which we could give to our
that'd be so
clients.
helpful.
So things like that I think are really helpful. But I do think coming in and seeing it, we don't allow anyone under 18 to kind of come into the shelters, just because we have a lot of sex offenders.
Yeah.
And it just can be a little
characters
much.
In here.
But I think it's really insightful for people to see that, I mean, it's insane to me that we have over 500 people every night just in this building that don't have a home.
Yeah, no, like it's a huge problem, and like I noticed, because I'm like I'm open to talk to anybody, but like I have noticed like I'll be talking to like some homeless people, and if I have like a couple bucks, like I always like offer to like give them like if they ask, know. But even if they don't, like I'm just like, hey man, I don't have any money, but like I'll just talk to you for like some minutes, and then people walk by and just like give you like kind of dirty looks, Yeah. And I don't know. I just think there's a huge like negative stigma, like society wise.
Yes.
Because people just like kind of like walk by and like, look down on them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like more people need to be like me,
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, and I mean, I see a ton of our guests out with like signs and asking for money, and I never give them money, just so you know.
Yeah.
But I saw this one
I've learned
guy.
my lessons a couple times.
Yeah.
Like there's this blanket guy.
Buy him a sandwich or
That's what I do
soup or-
most of the time. I always
yeah.
offer to like, if they're like, hey man, can I have like a couple bucks?
Yeah.
And like sometimes there's signs where you can kind of see that they're an addict.
Yeah.
It's like to something. So like anytime I have, I'm just like, nah man, I'll get you some food. Like you need to eat.
Yeah.
Like not do drugs.
Yeah.
Because there was this one guy, I gave him my last like $17 because I don't even know why. But like I was like, you know, man, I don't even have anything, but like you need it more than me, because he was like, I need a blanket, like all this stuff. And then I like went and told my friends that, and they're like, no way, like we just saw that guy like earlier today and gave him like $10, and I was like, no. And then I've seen him like around like
and you
in like the strangest times, most random places.
And you could like again like so I saw a guy on the corner. I was coming to work. It was probably like 11 o'clock in the morning. And I knew him. I'm like, what are you doing, Peter? And he's like, I'm hungry. I go, we're serving lunch. Just go to the shelter. And he's like, okay. And he,
it's like,
what? Like, get away from my car.
Wow.
But yeah, I go, I'll tell him you're coming. Yeah.
Have you like made a lot of friends like through working here, like with the people that come in?
With the
like,
guests.
Is there like anybody that's like a success story that's come and go that you like still are in contact with, or you know?
Yeah, we get some that actually like will come and volunteer for like Thanksgiving and stuff, which is nice. Some of them come back. We do nightly groups as far as like recovery meetings, trying to get people sober and stuff. Sometimes they'll come in and make a spot check in there. I've seen them in the community, kind of doing the right thing. So I mean, you do see success. Yeah, absolutely.
One thing I also was kind of curious, because you were mentioning like how you guys have to buy everything and like funding is getting cut.
Yeah.
How is like the funding situation like?
So the funding in particular on the second floor was around transitional housing, and so the federal government is not funding transitional housing anymore. So it was kind of like long-term shelter beds, and they're not, which is why they're converting into like emergency shelter. But it varies. We're always applying for grants and different things, and you know, while that may have gone away, we're trying to get this housing grant. So I think we just, you know, we've been around long enough to know we look and try to figure out
Okay.
what best we can.
But you have enough at least to like provide like the essentials. So
Absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like all I really.
Okay.
That's more than enough. But like this has been a great conversation for sure.
Definitely.
No.